Hello, it's Monday and it is a new weekly reading vlog. I'm trying so unbelievably hard right now not to take my own skin off. I still have, it doesn't look too bad right now, but I still have I don't know if it's a lighten or what, but it's, the rash is still there. Yeah, it doesn't look as bad right now, but again, the lighten's not the best. Hopefully this isn't going away, but I just touched my scalp. I am so itchy and my skin is burning where the rash is. I just don't scratch. It's just so itchy, so itchy. I've just been on the phone to the doctors again because they gave me an appointment for Thursday. It is Monday, obviously. And they gave me an appointment for Thursday. See, this is the thing. The reason I think it's a reaction to the Topermi is that if the rash is going away, and then I take my Topermi and it comes back, I'm going to take another photo and see if it's going away. Like, I can see it here. It's really obvious. Like, here. Oh, we're not focusing. It's really... Like, look at that. Like, that's really obvious, but it seems to have calmed down a bit. Around here? I don't know. I can't see it. I'm going to take a photo and see what it's like, but whenever I touch my scalp, whenever I touch the areas where it was, it's really, really, really itchy. Like, painfully itchy. My skin feels like it's on fire. Like, I can feel the heat. Do you know when you've got a sunburn and it radiates that heat? That's what it feels like. But obviously, I don't have a sunburn. We live in Scotland. It's raining. There is cloud cover for miles. The sun has not graced us with its presence. I don't have sunburn. Obviously, I wouldn't have sunburn like this. The doctor has apparently said that he doesn't think it is a reaction to my drugs, to the Topermi. So what is it then? Like, if it's a bacterial infection, why are you letting me sit there with the infection getting worse and worse? That's the question I have. So I might have to go to the hospital tonight. I might have to call 111 and end up in hospital tonight. So that'll be fun. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can wait. They've given me... So they gave me an appointment on Tuesday. I've skipped a few facts here. So I've had to phone them back to be like, I cannot cope with how itchy this is. Because I phoned them and she was like, I had to be like, I can't cope with how itchy this is. It's painful. It's burning. Like, my skin actually hurts. Like, you know when you've got like a flare or something and your skin hurts to touch. That's what I feel like. It even just hurts. Just hurts. It's sore. And she was like, oh, is it just on your face? I was like, no, it's on my face, on my scalp, on my neck, on my chest, on my back, down my arms. Like, it's just, and it's spreading. And she was like, oh. I was like, yeah. And they would only let me upload 2 photos. I have like several. So I just had to choose the 2 that showed it on my face. She was like, I'll just go ask the triage team. And so she went off to ask the triage team. She was like, okay, they said just take some antihistamines. And I was like, I've been taking antihistamines twice a day for the past 3 days. Because I've been taking like I've been taking one with my data, like with my morning meds, and one with my afternoon meds, even though technically you're only supposed to take them once a day. I've just been like, just take them, you know. So yeah, I've been taking antihistamines. They've not been doing anything. If anything, it's been getting worse. So, like, what's going on? Went to the pharmacy and he was like, yeah, no, the antihistamine should be working. And even she's like, yeah, the antihistamine should be working. I'm like, then why are they not working? So she went back to tell him that, you know, she's taking antihistamines and it's not working. And she ran to the doctor and the doctor was like, yeah, just put her with me tomorrow. So thankfully one of the doctors are going to see me tomorrow, but if it continues, I have to wait till 6 o'clock and phone 111 because they won't see you until after 6 o'clock. But it's the heat. That's what, like, my whole scalp and my neck feels like it's on fire. That's what I can't understand. Like, it feels like I'm on fire and it's so itchy. Like, I don't know if anybody has memories of when they had chickenpox when they were younger, or if you've had chickenpox more recently, but the urge to itch, or if you had an allergic reaction to like a soap powder or something, because that's what it feels. I remember, like, the urge to itch is like outweighing my mental like thing of like, don't scratch it. Like, and I find myself like scratching when I don't mean to, and it's it's all like under here and stuff. I just want to scratch, and it's so, but then when I touch it, it's so painful, and I'm in such a bad mood. And the thing is as well, I'm so dizzy. Like, I feel dizzy and I feel sick and I feel like hell. I feel like I've got a cold, like I'm congested, and my chest feels tight, which she didn't let me say. She didn't let me tell her that I've been feeling dizzy, and I just about fell over in the office earlier. The new guy was like, I was like, that wasn't happening earlier, that's now what's happening. And he was like, maybe you should go home. And I was like, it's only 1:30. I'm due to go home at 2 o'clock anyway, might as well finish what I was doing. My eyes are burning, I'd be getting fever and chills. Like, I am not a well person. I still got to look at my throat. But this is all like swollen and stuff. Yeah, I am not well. And something is going on. And like the doctor's surgeries are really backed up and busy, and I get that. I get that. But I'm so worried right now. I don't know what's going on with me. And Kay, like, knows somebody who's just had a really bad infection that they had a lot of trouble getting with antibiotics, like they just didn't respond to it, and she was saying that's what this rash looks like she had the same rash. And I'm like, great, it's not transmissible, like I couldn't have caught it from her, that's not what that is. But like, just coincidentally she was saying it looks like the same rash, because like it's one of those things where it's a tissue rash, like it's a tissue infection underneath your skin, but like it comes out and you can see it, like cellulitis. Like, you can't get it from someone. It infects like underneath your skin and then like comes out and you can see it. But it could also be MCAS, because I've got EDS, and MCAS is a comorbidity of EDS. And it was MCAS, then it's an autoimmune disease, and then it's not COVID. I tested negative. Yeah, basically I'm just having a freak out here, and I really don't feel well, and I just want to curl up and sleep. And I've got to edit this video, and it's 3 hours long. So welcome to the vlog. If you're new here, this is not a standard video. This is just this week getting totally out of hand. This previous week getting totally out of hand, and I feel like I can't remember. Do you know what, as well, like, I feel like I want to cry, but my eyes feel so dry because they're so hot. You know what I mean? Oh my god. And I realised today that Kay's going to have to cook the entire punnet of chicken. Do you call that punnet of chicken? The entire tray of chicken today, because we didn't freeze it. I thought it was in the freezer. It was not in the freezer. So Kay's going to have to cook the entire tray of chicken today so it can go in the freezer, but at least it'll be cooked. But yeah, I think I might just edit and go to sleep because I really don't feel well. I have stuff to do. Anyway, I will catch up with you later. Hello, good afternoon. I feel like crap. I'm obviously not at work. Even though I should be. And that bloody fish tank is making noise again. I ended up at the hospital last night because this rash just keeps getting worse. I phoned 111 and they were like, the nurse literally said that she thought I had meningitis, and I was like, I don't think I have meningitis. So I ended up at A&E. Turns out I don't have meningitis, and the A&E doctor had an idea of what he thinks I have, but he wanted me to see my GP just to sort of confirm the diagnosis and start any treatment, because he was like, it's not really my area to treat. He was like, that would need to go to dermatology. He was like, hopefully it should be like self-limiting. It has gotten worse. I don't know if you can see that, but you should see my back. It's really bad. It's travelled all the way down my stomach and everything. So now with my legs, it just keeps getting worse. I don't know if you can see that on my arms or not. It just keeps getting worse. I'm so itchy. I'm so sore. We didn't get out until 3 in the morning. So Kay's away to work because she just... I wouldn't say she can function on that little sleep, but she can function better than me, and she is her own boss, so she can, like, I don't know. I don't think she should have went in, but she went in. So don't scratch. It's so itchy. And it's so sore as well. But Kay went into work. I woke up and I just couldn't function. My head was absolutely slamming. Every bit of my skin is sore and itchy and just really, I'm really struggling. So yeah, I spent last night in the hospital technically, not like admitted. But yeah, it was just not fun at all. and it's like swollen up on my throat and stuff. Basically, I can't pronounce what it is that he thinks I have. I'll confirm it later with the doctor if it's what they think I have. Basically, like, a part of my immune system, like an immune cell somewhere, picked up something that it thought was something bad, panicked, set off the rest of my immune system, which is why it spread. It doesn't always do that. This is a condition that has like multiple different ways it works. For me, unfortunately, it spread through, it's like continuing to spread through my entire body. So yeah, like an immune cell somewhere, like I'm assuming back here somewhere because that's where it started, picked something up, thought it was something like bad, freaked the hell out, had a panic attack, freaked everybody else around it out. They all started having a panic attack and my entire immune system just went, nah, and just flared up. And because there was nothing bad, instead of their attacking, like, you know, stuff that is trying to attack my body, it just grabbed anything that it could get its little muggy hands on, and that was me. That was, like, what you see is what it's grabbing is my system. So it's attacking me. It's like, it's similar in a way to an autoimmune condition where it attacks your own body. So it's like, it's attacking me, and that's my body's response is like, this is what you're seeing, is the immune system attacking my body, is the rash, and the histamine release is the itchiness. So the doctor's like, yeah, antihistamine should stop the itching, and I'm sitting there like, I've got so much antihistamine in my system right now, I shouldn't have histamine, because they gave me antihistamines as well, like prescription ones, and it still didn't stop the itching. And he was like, but obviously that's not working. And I was like, And he was like, so maybe just go to the pharmacy and ask them to give you the drowsy antihistamines, and tell them, like, I'm not doing this to get high, I just want to get some sleep because I'm so itchy. And I was like, that sounds legit. He was a young doctor, and it was just funny. But yeah, I just kind of like, I feel ill as well because it gives you like cold and flu symptoms because hopefully your immune system kicks off. This is all swollen, so because your immune system kicks off, it's just my body's an absolute mess. Like, until it realises that there's nothing, until my immune system like realises there's nothing there, it will not calm down. And usually that happens within a week. He said it should stop within the week. He said by Wednesday, Thursday, it'll start to calm down. And then Kay was Googling, and she was like, some people get it for 3 weeks, 3 months. And I was like, thanks. So I asked him, I was like, could it continue for like 12 weeks? And he was like, yeah, could. And I was like, great, fantastic. I'm at this for 12 weeks. I might actually like do me in. Like, so yeah, I'm just hoping that this will like sort itself out. So yeah, he was like, normally if it was like a patch, which is what it normally does, you'd have like steroid cream and that would chill it out. But he was like, you've got too much for steroid cream to work. And I was like, you think? And he was like, it's like, if you speak to your doctor, he might do oral like steroids, but he was like, it's not known to react very well to it. Like, not like it'll get worse, but it just won't do anything, so there's not much point. He was like, but that's for you to discuss with your doctor tomorrow. So see what they say and see if there's anything they can do, because he's like, it's not my area of speciality. See if your doctor knows anything that might be able to knock on his head. It was like, because it's not really my area. I was like, okay. And he was like, do you have any questions? I was like, I just wanted to stop. And he was like, that's fair. Because I just want the itching and I want the pain to stop. Because like, it's a pain, it literally feels like my skin's about to come off kind of pain. Like, it feels like my skin's so brittle and is about to just like break off. That's what it feels like. It's horrible and it's burning and it's like, it's so itchy. And I'm just using like every ounce of willpower. But it's taken every ounce of focus as well. So like I'm struggling to focus on other things other than like not scratching. You know? So, but I can't, it's annoying as well because he was telling me like the types of sleepy histamines and it's the one I'm allergic to. Which is really annoying. Because it's loratadine, I think it's called. I'm allergic to that, and it will send me into a worse itching state until it wears off, which is great. I found that out when I was allergic to fairy. But yeah, I'm gonna go and drink my tea and try and like get myself awake a bit more, because my doctor's appointment is at 20 to 3 and it is like 20 past 1 now, so I'm gonna sit and watch some YouTube. And then I'm gonna go do something and then go to the doctor's and hope that they can fix it. They're not gonna be able to fix it, they're just gonna tell me to wait and ask me why I'm bothering them with something when, you know, I don't know. I'm actually going to rip my skin off. It's actually so itchy. Anyway, somebody please rescue me. It's from my entire body. Like, just, I'll swap to you. Like, there must be something you don't like about your body. I'll swap to you, maybe. Nobody's taking that trade, Andy. Nobody is taking that trade. Your body is a train wreck. And nobody's taking that trade. Speak to you later. Hi, it's Andy, and apparently I'm going to do a friggin' pharmacy haul for you. Oh my god, stop scratching. I've just been to my GP, and he agrees with the A&E doctor that is this pityriasis rosacea, I think that's what it's called. He was like, but when I showed him that it was on my forehead, he was like, yeah. He was like, actually, no, I don't think the A&E doctor, because I showed him the thing, I was like, I can't pronounce it, I can't say it, this is what the A&E doctor thinks it is. And then, like, I was showing him my face, and he was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't think that's what it is, because pityriasis doesn't go in the face, like, it doesn't ever usually appear on the face. And then he was like, where's it worse? And I was like, probably on my back. And he was like, well, actually, yeah, pityriasis usually is worse on the back. And then I showed him my back, and he was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I was like, great. And he was like, yeah, he was like, is it like this? Like, and I was just like showing him different parts of my body, and he was like, yeah, no, he was like, yeah, you've just got a really bad case, like a really, really bad case. Like, he could not believe how bad this like case was and how like widespread across my body it was. So yeah, he was impressed at how bad it was, which is I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to impress the doctor. So I have walked away with quite the hefty bag from the pharmacy. So I'm just going to do a little haul for you. So I've got a hydrocortisone cream. I've got two of those. This is for I think for just my regular skin, just like my neck down. And then we've got this Betinnovate for my scalp. And then we've got, hiding at the bottom, nope. And then we've got this for my face, I think. Is this one for my face? Oh, I'm going to have to check which one's which. I'm going to have to phone them and check which one's which. One of them's for my face. I think this is... Okay, so either this one's for my skin and this one's for my face, or this one's for my skin and this one's for my face. I am not entirely sure. I also have some fexofenadine. Got a couple of boxes of that, because what he was saying is the dosage for this is to have one a day, because it's a very strong antihistamine. And he was like, but and he kind of looked me up and down, and he was like, I think what I'll do is have you take 2 a day, and or take 1 twice a day, and maybe even 3 if it's still itchy afterwards. So yeah, we're going off label with this one because of how bad it is, which is fantastic. And then that whole bottle of Aveeno, it was like, put it in the fridge and just everywhere. He was like, it'll cool your skin down, it'll should help with the itching, and it'll cool down the rash and everything. So yeah, this is just to be like a cool cream to like stop everything from like, and obviously like I had to use I had like a weird infected bit of skin, like I scratched myself by accident. Obviously, like I didn't scratch myself on purpose. Caught myself with my nails, and it had like a little infection, and I had to use, I think it was hydrocortisone cream on it. So that's probably for my body. But that's such a small amount. I will figure this out. Oh, To be used on face. Read the label, Andy. This one's for my face. So this one's for my face. This one's for my body. Right, okay. We're good. Right, yeah, so, yeah, I had to use it and it hurt. So this is probably to help with that as well. And he said it can be this, the problem with this treatment is that it will, he said it should stop the itching and the pain, but it will prolong the rash. Like the appearance of the rash. So like it'll look bad, but it won't feel bad. But he said like the natural course of this rash, he said it'll be anywhere from 2 weeks to 5 months. 2 weeks to 5 months. So it's like 2 weeks to 5 months of it looks bad, but it won't hurt or itch. Or 2 weeks to 5 months of hell on earth. So we're going to try the medication. I have to use it for like a solid week, and then if it doesn't, oh, we're gonna see how we go. But that's my medication haul. I'm so itchy right now. Like, it's now on my feet. I think I told you this earlier. It's made it to my feet. I am so miserable right now. Like, I'm so miserable. I feel really, like, ill as well, which doesn't help. And I need to go in the shower later. Like, I'll go, so itchy. No, don't itch, don't scratch. Once a day to face. So, like, I'll go in the shower to face. This also says to face. Which one is face? They both say face. I'm going to have to... They both say face. I've got a vlog to edit. The vlog is meant to go up in half an hour, and I still have 2 hours worth of footage to edit, so that's not going to happen, but I need to get a wiggle on. Hello, it is Wednesday, and I've just been slathered up with steroids for my skin. I'm trying to not let my hair touch where I've just been, like, slathered up with steroids, but it's determined that it's going to touch. That sounds bad. Okay. I don't care how it looks. It just needs to stop touching me until they kind of, like, soak in. But yeah, so I've got strong stuff on my, like, chest. Like, bottom of my neck down, neck up. I've got the weaker stuff. And I've still not used the scalp stuff because I just don't. I don't want to. So yeah, that's where we are currently. It's really done such a good job at bringing down the rash. Like, you can barely see that. It's actually so good. There is a very, very faint rash still. I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera. But it is, like, very, very faint, which is fantastic. The itchiness has mostly gone. It is still there on my scalp where I've not been putting the steroids. But it does feel like everywhere my body has been, like, pricked with, like, nettles. The needles on the nettles and stuff, so that's great. The steroids are really hurting my skin. Even though this is only my second night, the steroids just really hurt my skin. Which is fun. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I only need to do it for a week and hopefully that'll be it. Just had on my pills as well, so I'm behaving. I'm taking my medicine. I need to tick that off on the Discord as well once I've got my phone back. And I read an entire volume of Saga today. I'm not going to show you inside because it's quite graphic. No pun intended because it's a graphic novel. But I am actually very pleased with volume 11. So I feel like for me anyway, volume 11 definitely redeemed itself from volume 10. Volume 10 was quite disappointing after the bombshell that was volume 9. But I personally feel like it's picked up in volume 11. So I'm happy with that. It's made me want to continue reading Saga. Saga is like Saga and Heartstopper are the only 2 graphic novels that I will read, so I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I really do. I love Saga. It's such a weird thing. Maybe, like, sci-fi for me maybe is better graphic novel wise. I wish I was somebody who could read manga. I just get so confused reading it the opposite way that I'm used to reading. I'm trying so hard to avoid saying backwards because it's not backwards. Like, saying it's backwards makes it sound like it's a bad thing, I think. Because it's not backwards, it's just in the reverse. It's not backwards like it's bad, it's just backwards as it's in the reverse order than what I'm used to. So like, I try not to say it because it always makes it sound, I always think it makes it sound bad saying it's backwards. Like if you say something's backwards, often it's quite derogatory, so I'm trying not to say that. Yeah, manga goes the opposite way to what I'm used to, and I find myself getting frustrated and upset because I struggle with it, and yeah, it just makes it not enjoyable. But things like this I can follow, and Saga makes it so easy. Like this page is nice and safe, it's really big, really bold, the lettering's big enough for me to read. Some people might struggle, but for me it's quite easy. I really enjoyed it, definitely made up for volume 10 in my opinion. Have also managed to get some pages into An Education in Malice, only 30 pages in, but so far so good. I'm reading it and I'm like, is this paranormal or is this not paranormal? I think it's set in the same world as Gousto, so it might be paranormal. I am unsure what's happening, so we shall see. But I'm currently just like, what's going on? What is going on? And I've also started the Poems by Len Penny, and I'm seeing Poems because that is literally how it's Poems. It is a poetry collection that is a mix between, there are some poems written in English and some written in Scots, and it is, so I know you're not meant to read, the whole point of poems isn't that you blast through the book, so I'm like dipping in, reading a couple of poems, picking up something else, dipping in, a couple of poems, dipping in. So this is what I'll be doing for the next few days. So I'm already 16 pages in. I've read 8 poems so far, and there's so many, like there's the contents page, just like there's so many. So there's so many. It's not that long though, so there's I think it's like 109 pages. 109 pages. And I don't even necessarily have to read it in order, but I will, because otherwise I'll forget what I've read and lose my place. But so far I'm absolutely loving it. Len Penny, I don't know if you'll know who she is, but she's a Scottish poet, and she does, and quite often you'll see her on TikTok doing the Scottish word of the day, or the Scots word of the day, and I really love her content. And this is a collection of poems that are kind of very much based around, so far it's like female suffering. A lot of it comes from the abuse that she suffered at the hands of her ex, which has recently come into public knowledge because she was part of a documentary that I think it was the BBC did, and some of it she says in her foreword that she wrote some of the ideas from the bathroom floor and things like that when she was hiding. A lot of this is quite sensitive topics that she's writing about, and it's really powerful. This is one of the things, if you haven't noticed, I struggle with being brief. So poetry has never been my thing, and I am absolutely just in awe of people who can put a point across in such a brief way. I've always struggled with writing poems, but I always take so much from reading poems. I only have 2 other collections, maybe 3 other collections of poetry in my library. I've got some Shakespeare poems because who doesn't? I think everybody's got some Shakespeare poems lying about somewhere. I've just got I've got one of those like cut out, they did like the autumn, winter, summer ones, and I saw one in a shop for really cheap, and I was like, I'm gonna buy that before they realise how cheap they're selling it for, and it's a Shakespeare one. So I really just bought it for that, and I do like Shakespeare. Like, we studied him at school, and I kind of have like that nostalgic like Shakespeare thing. Like, I've not bought it to be like, I'm going to read Shakespeare. Like, I do like Shakespeare, but it's a thing just to have. Anyway, so yeah, I've got some Shakespeare poems. I have my friend Heather's poem collection, where she does mental health through colours, which I love it. It's such a fantastic collection, and I'll pop it in the description again, the link to her Amazon for that, because I just think that it doesn't get enough attention. And I also have a Keats collection, the complete collection of Keats, because John Keats is my favourite poet. I absolutely adore Keats. I don't know what it is about his work, but I just have always loved it. Whenever we studied it at school, I just got something out of Keats's work that I never got from anything else. So I had to get when I found a complete collection of his works, I had to get it because I love his works. I don't know why. Like, I can't explain it, but there's something that just draws me to it, and I think that's the beauty of writing, to be fair. And I know this is one of Vicky's new favourites. In fact, it's already a contender for our favourite of the year, and we're only in March, and she got it, I think, in like February. So, you know, and I can see why. Like, it's fantastic, but it's also like I wouldn't try and one shot this because each poem has got a different rhythm. It's a different lengths, different types of stanza. I can't remember the name of the way the rhythm meter. It's got a different meter. Each poem has a different meter. It's got a different structure. They're in different languages. So you've got one in English, one in Scots. Scots is not just Scottish English. Scots is in fact a language. So you're switching between two different languages. And even me, who speaks Scots, and so like I can speak Scots. I do know Scots. There are words in here that I don't know. And I mean, there are words in English that I don't know, and I'm a native English speaker, I would say. So there are words that I don't know. There are clever ways that she plays with words that I don't know. So it's not as easy, like, because you're switching meters, you're switching languages, you can't just like boom, 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 boom. It does take time for me to switch. Imagine switching between any of two other languages that you would speak. You need that time for your brain to process the change. Sorry, a shrimp just flew past my face. That sounded like a weird thing to say. I've got a fish tank next to me, and we have shrimp in the fish tank, and it just like... Anyway, yeah, so switching between the two languages and the different styles of each poem makes it one where I want to take it more slowly than I might if it was all sonnets, for example, where the meter is always the same. It's also really weird as well because Scots is I think Scots is kind of like a verbal language. It's a language meant to be spoken. It was never really intended to be a language that was written or read in a way. It feels like, because like there's no real consensus, I suppose, on the way some words would be written, because there's words in here that I know what they're saying, I know what they say, but that's not how I would spell them. And obviously, I'm just assuming that's how they're spelled. That's how they're spelled. But I don't know if there's any consensus. There must be a consensus now, I suppose, on how Scots words would be spelled. It's weird seeing something that... a language that you've only ever spoken written down, and then translating that written word into speech when you may have, like, I would spell it differently, so it's translating that and getting the sound. So like, for example, the words read and read in English, through context and reading the sentence, your brain will pick the right one. I was saying to Kay in one of these ones, oh buddy, she's written this as two words, as oh buddy, but she's just an buddy, a, and then body, buddy. And I was reading that as a body. And I was like, no, that's not right. I had to go back and read it again to get the wording right, because I went Scots there, sorry. I would write it as abde, A-B, like as one word, or a apostrophe, and then as what, like abde. So it just depends. It just would depend on how you write it. But yeah, so hopefully my plan is I've finished Saga. I want to get an educational malice and poems, and The Trouble with Vampires finished before the end of the month. It's currently the 27th. I've got Bobby's show on Saturday. So I've got Wednesday. I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday during the day, and Sunday to read. 4 days to read 2 and a bit books. I'm saying a bit for the poems because like 109 pages would be of prose would still be a bit of a book because it's not a full length novel. I reckon I could do that. That's what, less than 700 pages between those books, because those two are just over 300 pages each. I'm already 30 pages into one. I'm already 16 pages into this, so I've got less than 100 pages into that. So that's less than 700 pages to read in 4 days. I reckon I can do that. But I'm going to go because this is getting to be a lengthy clip, and last week's vlog was a joke, so I don't want to be editing that again. Hello, it is Thursday. It is Thursday. And I've just finished poems. I know I said you're not meant to like blast through these, but I ended up blasting through the last like 70 pages or something. 80 pages. I just got absolutely hooked on her poetry. And I actually ended up in an argument today online. It's just someday there's men going about New York City punching women in the face and just like walking away. Because why not? Just another thing that men are doing apparently. And there was a guy that was like, a woman had made a post about it and she was like, I'm so sick of seeing the news being like women being assaulted and women this, women that, women that. She's like, why is the onus always on the victim? Like, why is it always like women this, women that? It's, men are doing this, like men assaulting women. Like, why is it never anything about the fact that it's men doing it? And this guy in the comments was like, it's not men doing this, it's criminally insane people. And people were like, you just, what? So I ended up getting into an argument with him because it was like, no, like, men are doing it. Like, anyway, it was a whole thing. And I was like, it got to the point where he just was like, no, I need to defend myself because I'm not like this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so basically, it's more important for you to push yourself in front of victims to like, make sure your ego isn't bruised and your feelings aren't hurt than protecting women who are being physically assaulted by men. Like, that's more important to you. And he was like, but it's such a generalisation to say men are doing this. Okay, how often do you hear about women being bad drivers or women being overly emotional or women this, women that, women the next thing from men? Historically, the number one perpetrator of violence against women is men. It has been for centuries. And now we are at the point where we're like, we're sick of it. And you need to take responsibility. Like, men in general need to take responsibility. If you're, like, the men that are secure in themselves and the men that are actually, like, men don't need to defend themselves. Like, I've got a friend, there's a point to this with the book. One of my guy friends, Mark, he is like one of my best friends. He's never once, not once when anything like this has ever come up, not once has he ever felt the need to defend himself because he knows he's not one of those guys. Like, he would never, like, I know he would never do that. I know he, like, in an incident where something like that happens, I know he's never going to be the guy. I would never even, like, I've gotten changed in the room in front of him, and he's never even, he doesn't even notice what I'm doing. He's, like, too busy playing his, like, games or whatever. Like, we used to live together. I've never once felt uncomfortable in a room with Mark, because he is not that guy. Nobody I know has ever felt uncomfortable in a room with Mark, because, like I said, he's not that guy. Like, I've watched him lift drunk girls off of guys who are being creepy, because he's like, no, we're not doing that. Like, one of his friends was, like, being creepy with me when I was too drunk to be, like, standing upright, and the guy, like, tried to, like, take me, like, he was like, oh, I'll take her to her bed, and Mark was like, no the hell you won't, I'll take her up to her bed. And he just, like, literally just, like, face planted me on my bed, like, threw my cover over me, patted me on the head and was like, night. Left me there. I remember just being like, I'm going to sleep. Like, in my own house, like, where we lived. But, like, you know, he doesn't feel the need to defend himself because he knows he's got nothing to defend himself against because he knows we're not talking about him. But the minute you start getting your back up and defending yourself against something you're not even been accused of, then I'm suspicious of you. And this poetry collection talks a lot about this sort of thing. Like, there's so many poems in here that discuss this very thing. Like, it's a lot about the violence and a lot of the bullshit, basically, that women have to face, especially with men. And I'm so angry right now, like, after reading this, it's just absolutely, I'm so angry, it's absolutely infuriated me. It's so, I think is it the thing upstairs, there's like, the dust jacket, so there's like the match with the flame, and then the back of the dust jacket, there's the match just like, with no flame, and I thought it might be in the back of the hardcover, but it's not. If you can deal with like reading this sort of stuff, I absolutely recommend this. Like 5 stars, I loved it. Amazing. Everybody needs to get this. Just get it. It's amazing. And also, like I said before, this is half written, and this is like written between Scots and English, so some of it is in English, some of it is in Scots, so it might be harder to understand if you don't understand Scots. I'm going to have a nice bruise on my shoulder if I keep bunting it like that. But yeah, that is 1 book out of 3 done. Like I said, absolutely love that. Incredible. Ironically, reading 110 pages into An Education in Malice. This is set in the 70s, and it is about Laura and Carmilla. It's a Carmilla retelling, and they attend a university in Boston, or near Boston, Massachusetts, and it is a girls' college, and they are enrolled, specifically it's about them being enrolled in this class that is run by a professor, and the female professor who runs it's like a poetry course, so very apt that I just read that poetry collection, and there's something going on with the professor and Carmilla, the student. It's obviously like, it's given like My Dark Vanessa vibes, but like obviously Carmilla, given it as like a college. Carmilla, I think she's definitely older than 20 because she started as a freshman at the college when she was, 20 years and 8 days old, she says in her chapter. So Carmilla is 20 something, and Laura is also 19, 20 years old, because like this is a college, like a university college, so it's not an appropriate relationship in that they are underage, but it is an inappropriate relationship in that there is a power dynamic there, and it's obviously like an abuse of that power dynamic in some way, but it's not been made clear. Like, it's implied that there's a relationship there, but there's nothing, it's not clear. I'm just getting the sense that there's something going on. The way that Carmilla is jealous of Laura getting attention, and the way that like, I'm not that far into it, but I'm talking even earlier on, because I'm not trying to spoil it, but like, just the first, like, very early chapters, like, it just seems, and there's like a trigger warning in it for like inappropriate relationships between a professor and students. So like, again, it's like My Dark Vanessa sort of, and uneven power dynamics, that sort of thing. So like, yeah, there's like quite a lot of trigger warnings. So like I said, it's in the 70s as well. One of the characters is black, so there's also like racial undertones with some of the content as well. Again, it's in the trigger warnings. It's like a sapphic romance, so there's, again, being in the 70s, there's also like the main character is she's closeted, she's very religious, so like there's that introspective homophobia as well. It's so interesting to read, because you're getting that vibe of like it's, the atmosphere is really, really thick. Like, it's funny because it reminds me somewhat atmospherically of like the first Discovery of Witches book from when she's on campus. Like, the campus atmosphere is very similar as A Discovery of Witches, like that old style, old school university campus with the quad and everything like that, like that feel. It's really, really given that. And then, yeah, with the students and everything like that, it's very, I would say it's given like the overtones of dark academia, but I don't read dark academia, so take that with like a whole handful of salt. I would generally speak to somebody who reads dark academia and has read this book to see if, but for me, I don't read dark academia, or I wouldn't know what dark academia is if it bit me on the nose. So, you know, like Babel, I think Babel, is that dark academia? Is that sort of like, again, with the campus, with like, you know in Buffy, when she goes to university, and like she's walking on the quad at night, like through, and it's like dark, and it's like misty, and it's like that sort of like feeling on the old campus and stuff like that. Like that sort of like vibe. And then like they're in the library and it's creepy, like that, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I've got to read the rest of this. So there's, how many pages? 344 pages. I'm 110 pages in, so I've got 234 pages of this to read. And then 370 something? 380 pages to read of this before the end of the week. And I've got Bobby's show, she's in at 9 to 5 on Saturday. I put the wrong book back. She's in 9 to 5 and we're going to see that on Saturday. And so I don't have much reading, like I don't have a full day's reading on Saturday, which is unfortunate because my reading like peak really is in the evening. So I'll need to make myself read Saturday during the day. So I miss out. And then on Sunday, I totally forgot we're supposed to be going to the safari park on Sunday for Bobby and Tori's birthdays. And since Tori's already down to go see Bobby's show and Bobby's free on the Sunday, we're going to go to the safari park for the birthdays on Sunday. So that is like almost a whole day's worth of reading that I'm missing out on. So really, between tonight and tomorrow, Saturday during the day, and Sunday evening, I've got to read those 2 books. So, yeah. And Illumicrate have released these beautiful editions of the, I can't even remember what they're called now, but it's these books that I only just learned about today by Chloe Lees. Again, can't say her name. And I saw them and I was like, oh my god, I want these books. I only just finished putting them on my wish list on Amazon, and then saw the Illumicrate ones. Did I even say Illumicrate? Illumicrate decided to do a set of the 7 for like an incredibly decent price, but like it's like for one price, like to pay for it all at once. It's like, so it's like 120 quid for the books, which is like, for 7 books, it's only like £17 something a book, which is like, for a hardback, for a special edition hardback, incredibly cheap, right? So like £17 a book for a hardback, that is on like the cheap range of a hardback, for it to then be special edition, exclusive special edition. Like, who's pricing that? Because that's dead cheap. And now I really, really want them. I've not even read these books, and I'm like, I really want to buy them. And I'm trying to talk myself out of buying them. But my friends are all enablers. And my wife is an enabler. And the first book is on Kindle for like £2. So I'm like, do I buy that? Read it quickly, decide if I want to read it quickly. Like it's a romance novel. Like it's a romance, is it Bergman Brothers book? Anyway, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, do I like buy it on Kindle? Read it like this weekend. Add another book to my TBR, even though I've got 2 books I'm supposed to be reading. Even though, to be fair, one of them's not even on my TBR. Like, technically, it's like not on my, like, I could totally do that. Anyway, do I read it? Decide if I like it. Buy the books, even though it's a risk. I could resell them if I end up not liking them, but at the same time, they're so beautiful, I could just display them. See, this is what's happening. I'm talking myself into them because they are absolutely gorgeous. They are gorgeous and they're really cheap. And this is what I can't believe. Like, I know there's probably like a difference because of like popularity and stuff like that, but like the price difference between like half of a set of the Sarah J. Maas books and so like 4 books for the Sarah J. Maas set is like 165 or something, I think it was. And then £120 for 7 books. And I'm, It's not even comparable. Like, what? And they're beautiful. Like, I can't even describe how beautiful these books are. Like, for the beauty alone, they're worth the price. I'm just talking myself into buying these books. I have to get my car's MOT done. But I did have unexpected money come into my account, but then I could put that in my saver. You don't need to see this, like, whole mind thing. I'm going to go and read some books and think about this. Kay was like, why don't you sleep on it? See how you feel about it. But let's face it, we all know I'm going to end up getting the books. Oh, maybe I should just start linking my Vinted down in the description. Like, oh my god. Maybe I should treat myself after my immune system trying to kill me. You know, that's what I should do. Maybe. Hello. Ignore everything that's going on here. I had to put my hair back in a hairband to put my steroids on my face, and my hair's just... I've got the steroids on my hair, I've got the steroids on my face. I'm roided up to dough. To high dough right now. And I'm a mess. I'm going to be a mess for the foreseeable until I can stop the steroids, which is going to be a week. So I'm on day 3, so 4 more days of roidage. But I just finished an education in Malice and I loved it. Like, I just accidentally... I was just like, I'm just going to read for a little bit and see how I get on. I just accidentally read like 250 pages. Like, I was 110 pages into this. And it's 342 pages. So I accidentally read 232 pages of a book. I was like, I'll stop at 200 pages. And I accidentally finished the book. Because it just kept me page turning. This did not go where I thought it was going to go in the best way possible. It was just so... It's not action-packed. It's not... This is one of those books, again, where nothing happens. Like, this could have been, like, such an action-packed, like... book, because there's like this could have been like an episode of Buffy. Like, there's, if you've read it, you probably know what I mean. Like, there's things that happen in this that could have been like an episode of Buffy. All of the action-packed stuff takes place off of the page, and you're just getting like the characters seeing the aftermath of it and dealing with like the consequences of like, what do? We know what's happening, they don't know what's happening, like, while also dealing with like, I loved this. This was so good. This did not go where I thought it was gonna go. And then we had characters from Dowry in like a way I was not expecting. Like, sorry, that noise I just made, he was like licking his paw and he just went. I just love S.T. Gibson's writing style. Like, there's something about the way that S.T. Gibson writes that I'm just totally entranced by. Like I said, this is like, nothing really happens. It's so, like, the characters are just like so wrapped up in each other. Like, this is very much just like Laura and Carmilla being just so wrapped up in each other. Like, it's a book about longing and about obsession, but not in like a, like at first when they meet they hate each other, or they don't hate each other. Carmilla hates Laura because Laura's getting attention from the professor that Carmilla wants attention from, and Laura's like, has no idea what's going on. But then when she realises why Carmilla doesn't like her, she's like, well, fuck you as well. But at the same time, she desires Carmilla. And then, like, but Carmilla, like, she hates her, but she also desires her. And then, so there's that, like, hate, like, there's the desire, but also the dislike. And then, like, oh, I just, like, that. But then, I don't even, like, I don't even know how to talk about this book. I don't know how to talk about this book. I just love that. There's just the way the character, like, I just love that. I just can't talk about it. I just can't talk about it. So I finished 2 books tonight. I finished poems. Oh, I'm just chucking stuff, don't mind me. And I finished An Education of Malice. So that's 3 books finished in a couple of days, because I also finished Saga, Volume 11. So these all need to go upstairs to go to my library. But I'm just going to put them there just now, which means I only need to read this to finish my entire TBR. And I might, I bought the books. So I should really buy the first book on Kindle. It's only £2. It's £1.99. I should really buy the book on Kindle. It's only £2. So I should probably buy it, read it. Since I've only got this, I almost chucked that book at my own face. I should read this and then read the other book on Kindle. What are you doing up here? And yeah, so at least they don't ship until May, at least. So if I can read it, like, and I like it, at least I know, like, I'm getting something I like. If it's, like, awful, which I really don't think it's going to be, if it's, like, horrendously awful, I can cancel the order, you know? But at least I know I've got the order in. If it's awful, and I don't think it's going to be awful, I think it's going to be good. But if it's awful, at least the order's in, and I can always cancel it, you know? But yeah, I just need to read this now, and this is going to take me, like, 5 minutes to read. It's one of the longer ones. It's 380 pages, normally like 373 pages, so it's longer by 7 pages. But I always speed through these, you know. It's huge text, and it's always a reread. It's always, like I said in one of my other videos, like I say in all of my videos about these, it's always the same story structure. I know these books very well. It's always a fast read. Like, I'm going to absolutely zip through that, so I'm not concerned now about finishing my TBR. Is this the first month in ages that I might actually complete my assigned TBR? I count DNFs as completing my assigned TBR because it still gets it off my TBR. And then some. Even, oh my god, I actually did it. High five me, like, way to go, Andy. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed because it's past midnight, and, well, it's just 1 minute past midnight, but I forgot about having to put my steroid cream on, and I had to, like, wait for it to sink in, because I didn't want to go to bed with it all wet, and I just felt gross. But Hamish stayed up with me. How cute is that? Kay's went to bed, and normally he goes to bed with her, but he waited with me. He didn't abandon me, he waited with me, and he's just so cute. But yeah, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to bed, and I will read that bad boy tomorrow. I'm so proud of me. Are you proud of me? Because I'm proud of me. I can't believe I've actually read my TBR. I know I've still got a book to read, but I'm going to fly. I'm telling you, I'm going to fly through that. Absolutely, like, just absolutely fly through that. I am telling you, watch this space. Hello, it is Friday. Technically it's Saturday, but we're going with it being Friday. We're not perceiving this. We're giving me. To be fair, I'm a mess in every vlog, so I would really surprise at this point. But I'm currently, like, literally tip to toe covered in steroids, so, like, we're giving me some, like, grace. And how I look. Not that it really matters, because I'm forever a mess, but, you know. Yeah, I don't care. I do care, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be mentioning it, but we're gonna go with I don't care. Anywho. Oh, that was my toe popping back into place. Fun. I just finished the last book of my TBR. The Trouble with Vampires. I was going to stop reading and update you partway through this book. And then I was like, I'll just read a little bit more. I'll just read a little bit more. I finished the book. So 380 pages in like 3 hours. I read this book in 3 hours. I started this book at like maybe 5 hours. We'll say five-ish. I started reading this book after I had my dinner. I think I started reading this somewhere in the region of like 7, 8 o'clock. It must have been about 8 o'clock. Say 4 hours. 4-ish hours. I read this entire book. 380 pages. Again, I know I've read it before. I didn't remember anything that happened. Didn't remember a single thing. Not a thing. Well, no, that's a lie. I remembered about the thing that happened to the female main character. Did not remember anything else. So, there we go. Obviously, my memory for books. Like, given the number of books that I have read in my life, I'm not going to remember what happens in every book that I read. So, you know, I've got, like, I have like 800 plus books in my library upstairs. I read 92% of those. I've read more than 700 of those books. Those do not include books that I've read in unhauled. Those do not include books that I've read while at school. Those do not include books I read as a child and no longer own. Like, you know, or books that I never owned or like may have borrowed in the library, things like that. So I've definitely read over 1,000 books in my lifetime, you know. I'm going to move you. I've definitely read over 1,000 books in my lifetime. There's no way I'm going to remember everything that happened in every book. And yeah, there's a children's book called Read to Your Bunny. It goes, read to your bunny often. It's 20 minutes of fun. It's 20 minutes of moonlight. It's 20 minutes of sun. It's 20 old favourite minutes. It's 20 minutes brand new. Read to your bunny often. And your bunny will read to you. That is a children's book. Like a little picture book thing that my mum used to read to me. And I remember that. That book, I'm sure I've got it upstairs somewhere. That is a book that my mum used to read to me. Like that is the entirety of the book. That is it. That is the like entirety of the book. And I remember that. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. So yeah, I didn't remember most of that. But the band is getting back together. We've got everybody's back from Pucallata. Of course they're back from Pucallata. That's where they were in the last book. Everybody's back from Venezuela. We're back in North America. I think I've only got like 6 books left and I've caught up again. Next one is Mortal Angels. So it's where it's Stephanie, who is introduced to us first as a teenager. I think she's 15 when she's first introduced to us, and that was way back in Decker's book? Yeah, Decker and Danny, because she's Danny's sister. Decker is actually in this way back in Decker and Danny's book. And Stephanie is Danny's little sister, and the next book is Stephanie in her late 20s getting her life mate, and that's just like mad. Like, she's an adult. Like, I know she's a fictional character, but like she's an adult and she's getting her love story, and it's really nice. I love it. But that is my TBR for the month. That is my entire TBR read. I actually read the entirety of my like assigned TBR. I'm so chuffed with myself. That is now 14 books I've read this month. Not including my DNFs. I don't include my DNFs in my read unless I've read like more than a certain amount. I did DNF at least 2 books this month, but they are off my TBR, so you know, that's a good shout. I do have a Kindle book that I'm reading. I do actually have 2 books from the library. One is on my TBR for next month, so that's fine. I have the audiobook or the ebook on my Libby app, and I also have another ebook from my Libby app that is running out, so I need to read it. And I've got another Kindle book of the book that I've ordered from a Libby Crate that I want to read to make sure I definitely want to order them. I've only read the first chapter, and so far I'm enjoying it. So here's hoping. But yeah, I'm going to go to bed because I am tired. Oh, shrimp. But I finished my TBR. and it's only Friday and I've got 2 more days of the month, so I can read another book and get to 15 books for 2 months in a row. And that is a really, really good month reading, so I'm very happy. But yeah, I'll speak to you later. Hello, it is Saturday. I am getting ready for Bobby's show. I need to put my TBR into this, so I'm going to do that just now, but I also need to film. I'm up in the, I don't know how to do this now. There we go, put it there. I'm up in the library. This is not a good angle, but this is the only place I could put my phone. I could have put it on my tripod behind me, I'm just realising now. Anyway, we carry on. I'm putting my TBR into here. Oh dear. Just to get it away in my desk. My very messy desk behind me. Get it in there. Just for you, Becca. It's a very tight fit. That's what she said. There we go. TBR is in here. That can go on the floor for now, so that I can wheel this chair over so that I can put my wrap up on this chair so that I can film, and that way, I'm going to sit here while I talk to you. And it's nice to have an... I'm fine. I'm going to leave that in so I can have a... Dear me. Yeah, I'm just going to film my wrap up because it is the 30th of March. Yeah, it's the 30th of March. And it's very warm in here, Bubba, you're right. It's the 30th of March, and in an hour and a half I'll be leaving to see 9 to 5, which is the show that Bobby's in with Tori and Vicky and my mum. And then tomorrow, for Bobby and Tori's birthdays, we are going to the Blade Drumming Safari Park, which you will see tomorrow. Did you just shove that bag out your way so you could sit down? You're getting brave, mister. I used to be scared of bags, so I'm not going to get any reading done, but I finished my TBR, so I'm going to film my wrap up now, and hopefully get it done before my mum arrives. Yeah, I have a book that I'm reading on Kindle, but I don't think I'm going to get it finished, just because I don't really have the time to get it finished, and it's not on my TBR. It's not really a priority. It's just, so it's the first, I think it's called When It's Only Us. I'll put a picture here. It is the first in the Bergman Brothers series, and I've ordered the set from Illumicrate because they are unbelievably aesthetically pleasing. They're so, so pretty. Hamish, what are you doing? Are you okay? He's just being like, please ignore the mess on the floor. He's just being really weird over there. It is the first in the Bergman Brothers series, and they're unbelievably beautiful. So I really, really want them, and so I bought them. I've not read a single book in the Bergman Brothers series, but I have faith. But to make myself feel better, I have decided to get the first one on Kindle. It was only $1.99. I've got the first one on Kindle, and I'm going to read that and see. First chapter, so far so good. I've read the synopsis. The main character, Ryder Bergman, I hope it's Bergman, I might be wrong, is partially deaf. He became deaf at a later age. And the female main character, Wynne? No, that's not her name. Begins by W, can't remember her name. She is a kind of like college soccer star. He's also in college. They are in the same class, and when she's late for class one day, her professor's like, ask Ryder for notes. He's got my notes. And she's like mad because she's like, why have you never offered to give me notes? Like, I'm a star athlete. I deserve to have this, that, and the next thing. Obviously, Ryder has the notes because he can't hear the lecture because he's deaf. She doesn't know that. So when she's like, he's not looking at her, he's looking at the notes. And when she turns to him and she's like, hello, can I have the notes? He doesn't respond to her. And of course, like, she's whispering because she's in class and the lectures, he can't hear her. And she just thinks he's being rude. And so she's like, F this guy. I cannot wait until the moment she finds out he's deaf and she's like, what? And she's going to feel so bad. And she's going to feel so stupid, and it's going to teach her a lesson. See, if you are talking to somebody, like, just as a general rule, like, I
I don't assume someone is listening to me unless they're looking at me. I know Kay's going to be like, are you kidding right now? But yeah, like, if I'm talking to someone, like, when I'm out and about, I don't assume they're listening to me unless they are looking at me. Like, that's just, not because I think everybody's deaf, but because I know myself, like, if I'm not looking at you, I don't know you're talking to me. Like, if you're not looking at me, I don't assume you're talking to me. So I'm not listening. My brain's not engaged. But yeah, I'm going to go film because I have not very much time. So I'll speak to you later. I have just been setting up to film and just hailing. Are you kidding me? It is absolutely chucking it downhill. Hopefully it won't last. Like, damn. There's hail on my car. Like, what? I blame Vicky. She had this earlier. This is ridiculous. I just heard the noise and I was like, is this going to come up on my video when I'm filming? And I thought it was wind. Nope, it's hail. It's hail. Before I got the camera, it was going sideways though, so it was a bit windy as well, but Jesus Christ on a bike. Okay, now I need to film. Hello, it is Saturday evening. I'm back from Bobby's show. It was really good. She was really good, obviously. She was excellent. We all really enjoyed it. And I am so tired. But I'm also like, I can't go to bed yet because... Well, one, I need to take my pills that I should have taken several hours ago. Cold, so I've got my jumper on. My heating blanket on. That's another thing, I'm cold. I can't go to bed cold because then I won't heat up. I don't produce my own heat properly. Or, I obviously produce heat, but otherwise I'd be dead. But, like, it doesn't go very well to, like, my nose is really cold. And my, like, fingers and toes and stuff, like, because I've got Raynaud's and because I've got issues with blood flow and stuff like that because of my EDS. I don't warm up, like, it doesn't do the go into other parts of my body thing. So I need to, like, warm up my extremities and stuff before I go to bed so that I don't end up just really, really cold until my body is like, oh crap, we actually need to warm the rest of her up. So I've got medicine to take. I've already taken painkillers, so that's fine. I took them before I left. I'm very itchy because I'm not taking my fix of phenidine. It doesn't say on it. I'm also not had my steroids on tonight because Kay's not here to help me. And honestly, it's so nice to not feel greasy. I should really put them on because I meant to do them for a week, but it won't kill me to not do them on it. It's not like antibiotics where you have to take them like as a regimen, otherwise it won't work. Like the steroids are just to tamp down the effects. My scalp is so bad though. It's like flaky, but not like flaking off, just like dry skin on it, on like my scalp. I also made myself a cup of tea because I think the cup says it all. It's also messing with the white balance. Yeah, tea is life. Hamish was thrilled when I came home. I've never had such an enthusiastic welcome from him for ages. He was so happy. He's now waiting for Kay to come home. Kay is in Edinburgh tonight at a friend's birthday party, but she's coming home because she really thought she was going to get a hotel room with her friend. It's Easter weekend. It's Easter weekend. There is no room at the inn. I know that's a Christmas thing, but like there was no hotel rooms to be had for love nor money. So yeah, she's just coming home. Luckily, Edinburgh's only like hour and a half drive, so it's not too far. So yeah, she's just gonna come home. So Hamish is waiting up for her. He's sitting watching the door. It's really, really cute. He's been fed. He might have been fed twice. I fed him when I came in because I forgot to message Douglas to ask him to feed him at 8 o'clock, and I forgot to ask him before I left to go out. So I have no confirmation that Hamish got his 8 o'clock feed. So I'm just going to assume that he didn't have it. And if he accidentally got an extra meal today, then so be it. Like, it's not going to kill him to have a little bit of an extra sprinkle of biscuits for one night. You know, it's half a scoop of biscuits in that little thing. It's not going to kill him. So yeah, I fed him when I came in. So he's just waiting on Kay coming in. He's just sitting waiting, staring at the door. Yeah. I did plan to read, but I don't know. I've filmed my wrap up because tomorrow is the last day of the month and I'm not going to be finishing a book. There's no way, I don't think, because it is now Sunday technically, and I've just remembered in 15 minutes the clocks go forward. It's 1:45. 1 o'clock, clocks go forward to 2 o'clock, so fun. And yeah, so I've only really got maybe like an hour's worth of reading that I would do tonight, and then tomorrow I'll go back to Stirling again to go to the safari park, and I'll be there until probably dinner time, and then come back through, and then I'll just be a couple hours reading probably in the evening. So I'm not going to get enough time to read an entire book realistically, so I just did my wrap up. But that's one less thing for me to worry about as well, because it's already done. But I'm glad I got all my TBR read. That's been nice. Got a lot of things. My TBR is down to 62 books. 62 books, that's 12 books away from my goal. I could theoretically hit my goal in the next month. However, I do have books coming this month, so I don't see it happening. But theoretically, I could do it. But I have to hit the goal. Like, the goal has to be hit. Like, the whole point is that it's by the end of the year. So, like, on December 31st, my TBR has to be a 50. So, it doesn't really matter if I hit the goal now, because I can haul and read however many books in that time. So, we shall see. But I'm going to go because I'm sleepy and I want to drink my tea. Kay's just, I was checking my watch because Kay's just messaged to say she's still in Edinburgh. I don't think she knows the clocks are going forward tonight. I don't know whether I'll go to bed or not, or wait up for her. But I'm very tired. I've gotten into a routine of going to bed by midnight and waking up quite early. So my body's getting into that routine, so I'm quite tired. But at the same time, I'm also like, I like waking up. If she's out, I might go to bed and read. That's what I might do. I might, because I don't think I'll be able to sleep. But I also don't want to be sitting down here. So I might go to bed and just sit and read in bed. That's a good plan. Anyway, I'll let you see around the safari park tomorrow. I didn't film tonight because there was just no, it wasn't, I would have been filming for filming's sake. Not that this is really anything but filming for filming's sake, but you know what I mean. Anyway, a good night and I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Oh my god!
Just out in the mouth? Yeah. That was so close. I thought it was behind the fence.
Andy's just having a freak out.
I thought he was behind the fence. That was so close. He was just... Look at the horns on that cow.
It's beautiful.
So pretty.
Like,
look at the horns on those cows. Like, they're just in with the rhinos. Just a rhino. I'm so sad about the rhinos. Oh, and a pigeon. The fact that, like, in the wild, these creatures would never be beside each other. Look at that cow. Look at the horns on that cow, though. Like, dang. Like, that's one strong ass neck. Oh, that is so cute.
it's a baby.
Just like
I feel like this is. Oh, look at them. Look at them.
We're in beside the lions now, and oh my god, look at them. They're so fucking chill. They're so chill. I don't think there's any males. They're all just females. There might be some juvenile males, like a juvenile male. But oh, hello. She's just like, hi.
165 kilograms, but he's not actually fully grown. He is only 8 years old because males can actually reach 250 to 300 kilograms. Now with me I have Inika. Inika is 7 years.
There he is there. Now, this guy, his name is Ant, and Ant is known as a burrowing owl. Now, burrowing owls do exactly what it says on the tin up here. He's going to be living in burrows. Now, these burrows can be made by themselves, all right, or they will make them, or they'll live in females. They're able to catch and carry 11 kilograms of food, which is quite a large item. They're also going to be catching not only fish, they will catch a number of other animals. Those are things like mammals, which we've been documented catching seal pups and even sea lion pups out there in the wild. They're also going to be catching other birds, so things like gulls and smaller species of birds of prey. If the opportunity is there, they will catch them.
They're so tiny. So tiny. The tiger has decided to come out today. Oh, hello. I really hope I can't see for the sun. So I think I'm getting the tiger. Oh yeah. I did not think we were going to see the tiger. You don't often see the tigers. Just don't pss, 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 at a tiger.
Richie would totally call a cat this far and this close to him as well.
Oh,
It's like, I've had enough.
I'm done.
Bye.
They're gonna pop out the other side? Oh, hello. I think the tiger's coming round. We are genuinely like... I just pss, 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 a tiger.
Apparently we shouldn't a cat because it works.
I am less than 20 feet away from a tiger. And he is stunning. Wow. Okay, he's away to bed.
Or on your way.
No.
I apparently just called a kitty cat. Apparently we shouldn't a cat because it works. These are the feet.
He is stunning. Hello, I am back from the safari park and I am absolutely gubbed. I am so tired. I am so sore. The machine is on a spin cycle. Of course it is. I have not read anything today, obviously. I'm going to continue to read a little bit more, I think, of my Bergman Brothers book. I still don't know what it's called. I keep calling it Only When It's Us. But I don't think that's what it's called. I don't have a physical copy, so I don't know what it's called. My legs are so sore. I've just put my heated blanket on because it'll help with my legs. I had a really good day. I've got some clips I'll have put in before this. It was so nice. Like, it was such a nice day. I wish we got longer there, but like between how late I was up last night and the fact that the clocks went forward, I just ended up being quite late there. But I don't think I would have survived much longer. Like, my legs are so sore. But I'm really happy with the fact that I finished my TBR. Like I said, I never ever thought that I was going to get, like, the plan was not to finish the Bergman Brothers book in this week, like before the month ended. That was never ever the plan. But it's just sort of like, I'm just trying to read it before the books come so I can decide if I want to keep it. But I'm only a couple of chapters in and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think we're good. I'm just going to end the vlog here. I'm absolutely shattered. I think you can like see, I can see on my face that I'm absolutely shattered. I hope everybody's had a good week. Let me know what you've been reading, blah, and how you did with the Marvelathon down below in the comments. Because that's it. That's Marvelathon finished. I will need to actually total up my points, which I really should have been tracking. Every like, I kept saying to myself, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, and I'm gonna have to do all like 14 books that I've read this month at once. Past Andy, honestly, is the worst. It's like, be the now you, the future you will thank you for being in the past you. That totally made sense. Anywho, I'm gonna go and just relax for the rest of the evening. It's only 8:30. We'll still have our tea. And I just want to decompress and relax, read a little bit. Maybe have an early night before work tomorrow. I've only got a 3-day week next week because me and Mum are going to see Hamilton on Thursday, and then I'm off Friday to recover from Hamilton on Thursday. And yeah, a whole new TBR starting tomorrow. So that is exciting. And it'll be my Tomes and Treasures TBR. So even more exciting. But if you are wanting to let me know you were here, just leave me some kind of animal emoji, preferably like a wild animal, because I was at this fire party today, so like tiger, zebra, giraffe. What else did we see? We saw horses, and we saw goats. We saw baby pygmy goats. And what else did we see? We saw marmosets. I don't think you would have marmosets. We saw penguins. We saw sea lions, but I don't think any like wild animal style emoji. Just leave it down in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.